Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Peace be upon you. We all know about the violations of parents' rights in our public schools. Our children in the past 10 years have been suffering from the exaggerated exposure of the sexual education and gender theory, presenting age-inappropriate sexual material to our children, forcing our children to accept the gender ideology as the absolute truth, forcing our children to participate in pride activities against their will, forcing our children to abandon their belief, berating our children who respectfully ask to be exempted from pride activities for religious reasons, and threatening and harassing parents who've asked for opting out. And lately, pushing our children towards gender fluidity by encouraging them to choose their gender pronouns, which could eventually lead to physical change of their gender via gender-affirming surgeries. And we've also seen excluding parents from this very dangerous school-induced process that could have a dangerous impact on our children's mental and physical health. And last but not least, we've seen the attempts to strip parents from their rights and their authority over their children. Parents have complaints to school principals, but their complaints were completely ignored and they were labeled as violations of human rights codes. And when parents rejected such violations of their rights and the rights of their children, they've decided to peacefully protest, but they were called ignorant, misled by American far right, and haters. The liberal federal government decided to support school boards in the name of protecting the LGBT students and completely ignored parents' rights. They went as far as suggesting that schools are safer for students than their own homes and their own families. On the other hand, some provincial governments decided to support parents' rights. However, the federal government insisted on rejecting such calls. We've also seen other Liberal elected officials, such as the Mayor of Mississauga, Bonnie Crombie, who's also running for the leadership of the Ontario Liberal Party. We've seen her intimidating parents, trying to silence parents when they participated in the protest that took place in Mississauga just a couple of months ago. She threatened parents with hate crime and hate incident investigation. And now the Ontario Federation of Labour is plotting and mobilizing to counter-protest and challenge parents. They claim to care for everybody's rights, but apparently they don't care about parents' rights. And they had the audacity to say in their meeting that this is the first of its kind that they've seen here in Canada of this super broadly and coordinated hate across the country. They called parents fascists, violent, racist, and Nazis. After all of this, would anyone blame parents for calling for a larger peaceful protest? Especially after realizing that the majority of Canadians from all backgrounds and all walks of life are against the school board's horrible actions and their unfathomable disrespect and violations of parents' rights. It is very clear now that the Liberal government and its allies do not care about parents' rights. But you do not need their care. You only need to know that the Constitution is on your side. In the Charter of Rights, under Fundamental Freedoms, Section 2, it reads, everyone has the following fundamental freedoms: freedom of conscience and religion, freedom of thought, belief, opinion, and expression, freedom of peaceful assembly, freedom of association. Under Section 2 of the Charter, Canadians are free to follow the religion of their choice. So if your religion is telling you something is right or wrong, you have the right to follow it without fear and without intimidation and without shame. Last but not least, our right to gather and act in peaceful groups is also protected, as is our right to belong to an association like a trade union. So stand up and exercise your rights. If it is by joining a peaceful protest, then do it. If you have to keep your kids at home to protest the violation of your rights at school, then also do it. But please remember, you're not joining a movement. A movement could be easily hijacked by a more organized groups that could have different goals and different agendas. And please know, this is not a revolution to liberate our children, and this is not a revolution to get rid of the liberals. Do not make it sound like a civil war. There is absolutely no need for such phrases. This is not a war. You are not going out to attack anyone. Please do not use offensive slogans or chants. Such approach is absolutely rejected and will only create confusion and distraction. You need to stay focused. This is about you and about your children. This is about your freedom of conscience and religion. This is about your freedom of thought, belief, opinion, and expression. This is about your freedom of peaceful assembly. This is about your freedom of association. This is about your freedom of raising your children. And it's about your freedom of passing your religion to your children. Please do not allow anyone to destroy your efforts to protect your children and protect your rights. Stand up and defend your rights. Stand up and defend your children, but please do not offend anyone. I've added some slogans in the description that could be very helpful to you. Slogans that will express your rights, and stay focused on defending your rights. Stay away, please, from any slogans that will offend others, so we can spread the message of justice, the message of true equality and true diversity. May Allah bless you and bless your children. Stay strong and stay safe. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Peace be upon you.